Alrighty, we are live. Welcome everyone. So we're going to give everyone some time to get on in here, and then we're going to start talking about the newest updates and features in LearnDash. So I want to give everybody a chance to get in. All right, so wow, we have a lot of people joining us today. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone that's taking time out of your schedule to join us. I want to give everybody maybe two more minutes or so, and then we will get started. In the meantime, I think we can just kind of get started with some icebreakers. So if everyone can like put in the chat where you joining us from, I'll put that on the screen as well so you guys can see it. So go ahead and put it in the chat, and I will put some of your locations on the screen here. See where everyone is. All right, so we got someone from Croatia, Maine. Let's see. I think I'm trying to go too fast here. Germany, Little Rock, Arkansas. Okay. Wow, this is going really fast. All right, we got someone from Canada here, the Netherlands, Mexico, San Francisco. Okay, we've got a few people from Canada here. Thank you all for coming. Las Vegas, got England and New York. All right, so we got people joining from everywhere. We have Natalia from Atlanta. Hello, I'm also in Atlanta. Awesome, awesome. We also have someone from India. So Naweed is also in India. So that is got people from everywhere here. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I think we have enough people here. Thank you again for joining us today. So we're going to be talking about the latest and the greatest new features in our latest LearnDash update. So quick introduction, I'm Carmen Kendrick, and I'm the marketing manager here at LearnDash. And today I have a new face on the stream. This is Naweed, and he is a customer support specialist at LearnDash. So whatever questions I can't answer, he definitely will be able to answer those questions. Or if not, we will definitely direct you over to support. Awesome. So I have one more icebreaker to get us started, and then we can jump right into the meat of things. So let me just put that one up on the screen. All right, so this one is share an emoji that best describes what your course will be about. So whatever your course is about, try to find an emoji that's very close to it, and we will try to guess a few of those and see what those are. All right, waiting for some emojis to hit the chat. I know there's like a little bit of a delay, so excited to try to guess these. All right, so I see a few. Oh, this is actually a few different emojis. I'm thinking this one is like some way how to make money. What do you think, Nui? This is all about maybe making money some kind of way.
Yes, probably financial
Yeah,
literacy.
right. That makes sense. Let's see. We
That's a great
have
subject.
right. Always a good subject about making money. We have a globe. I mean, or that can be like the internet or like a web symbol. So I don't know. Let's see how to use the internet. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. All right, I think this is a cat. This is interesting. What do you think that may be, Nui? What kind of course is this with the cat emoji?
Cat, it could be something about pets.
Okay, let's see. All right, so this chat is going so fast. I am trying to keep up.
Yes, there's so much you can convey with just an emoji. There's a
I
whole
know
story.
exactly.
Yeah.
This one looks interesting. I think this is probably going to be about maybe communicating or learning another language. Um, that's what I'm thinking with that one. Did you see any that you wanted to point out in the weed from the chat?
I can see there's someone motivated by nature. That's another great subject.
Yeah, so there's a tree and a
There's a tree and somebody laughing.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Something about the environment, keeping the environment
Yes.
happy. I know climate change is a big subject everywhere, so
Yes,
that's what I'm
that's right.
guessing for that one. Okay, and we got it right. So I said I think something around communication and maybe learning another language. So awesome. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for joining in on the icebreaker. So that was amazing. So now let's see. The next thing I want to go ahead and cover is some housekeeping things. So with this new LearnDash update, if you're not currently a LearnDash customer, you can still try out LearnDash with using our demo. So I'm going to put that link to the demo on the screen, and it's also in the description bar on YouTube. So if you want to try out this latest, all the features we'll be discussing today, you can just check those out in the demo. It will spin you up a quick WordPress site, and you can just dive in and do everything you want and try out all of these new features. So that's one thing. And also, if you're not currently a LearnDash customer watching this webinar, you can get $25 off by using this coupon code. And this coupon code is also in the description bar on YouTube. Alrighty. So I think that's all of our housekeeping stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And the first thing we're going to start with is the bulk editing demo. So, or demonstration, I should say that. So let me share my screen. All right, so I'm sharing my screen, but I want to make sure everyone can see it. So if you do see my screen, go ahead and put a thumbs up in the chat. I'll really appreciate it. Once I see those thumbs up or a one, if that's easier for you, put a thumbs up or a one in the chat, and I can just make sure that it's showing up. All right, so I'm getting ones and thumbs up, so we are good to go. All right, so like I said before, so the first thing we're going to dive into is the bulk editing that you can now do in LearnDash. So when I first thought about bulk editing, I thought you would go directly into courses to use this feature, but it's actually found in the settings. So once you're in your WordPress dashboard, you'll see, of course, LearnDash over here on the left, and you want to go over to settings. And then once the settings page that we're going to go over to the advanced tab and look at some of the bulk editing that we can do. All right, so now that we're on this advanced tab, the first page that comes up is custom labels, and right next to it is the bulk edit tab, which is going to allow you to change different things within your courses. So ask the question, what do you want to update, courses, groups, or lessons? Just for this demonstration, I'll do courses. And it asks where course, or I guess what course maybe, and I'll put in all the courses I may want to change in here, so you can select as many as you want. And then you can also, that's a little bit of a logic kind of function. So I guess if it has a certain title and you want to change certain words in there, you can do that as well. The course status. All right, so the different status of your courses, if you want to change all your courses to draft mode, if you want to publish all your courses, put them in private, however you want to set that up, that's another option. The access mode, which is going to be whether it's an open course, anybody can take a look at it, free, they can take a look at it, but it's, well, they can have to register before they actually take the course. By now, recurring, and then closed as well, so you can update those all together. So I'm just going to do close just to show you guys. And then let's see, access mode. I think that is that the same thing where access mode? Oh, never mind. So I get it. So it's asking which ones I want to update here and then change it over here. Okay, that makes sense. Now, wait, am I missing anything when it comes to this?
I think it's pretty much covered here.
Okay.
This is for
Oh,
courses, and you can also do the same bulk editing for groups and lessons. We've had a
yeah.
lot of
So,
requests for bulk editing because it's kind of dangerous to do this through the database.
mhm.
You may have to hire somebody to make sure that there isn't. a dangerous side effect. So we have you covered through this bulk editing feature.
Yeah, that makes sense. So before you would kind of have to have someone that was really great, I guess, at going in the back end and more advanced stuff to do bulk editing. And so now it's all within the dashboard and you can complete that. So what I was saying earlier, I think I got a little bit confused. So where it says which courses, so all of this you kind of edit or say what you want to edit. And I think when it comes to which fields, it allows you to change whatever that may be. So I guess where the access mode is closed, it'll say which fields and I can make this open. And then of course I would,
Yes, basically you can change close to something else.
okay, yeah, and I think I had that mixed
Yeah.
up before. So yeah, that is how that works. And of course, if you have any questions while we're doing this, feel free to go ahead and put those in the chat. We will have a Q&A later on once we're done with the demo part. So you can just go ahead and add any questions you may have about the bulk editing feature. And with bulk edits, you can do that with the groups and you can also do it with lessons. So it covers a great bit of that things you can just change in bulk with LearnDash. All right, so the next thing I have on my agenda is course cloning, which was a very much requested feature that a lot of people wanted for a very long time. So back over to the LearnDash LMS, the menu, go over to courses. And of courses page, it will bring up all of your courses. And all you have to do is when you hover over one of your courses, just click on clone and we do the work for you. All right, so what will happen is once you click on that clone button, you'll get like a little bit of a alert here that tells you that it's in the process of cloning your course. It takes a few minutes, so sometimes I refresh like really quickly and it doesn't come up. So I give it maybe a couple, maybe refreshes, and then you'll see it come up. So I'll just click on courses again to see if that is available. All right, so it is still working on it. All right, so this is actually taking a little bit of time. Usually I kind of just click around and then I'll see it come back up. So let's try it again. All right, so this is taking a second. Anything you want to add about the course cloning the week while we wait for the, I guess, the cloning feature to finish updating?
I think you've pretty much covered everything that we have.
Okay.
And of course, we'll be improving this feature. This is the first time we have this feature. So if you have any feedback, we'll be happy to save notes for our developers and ensure that the changes are incorporated in future releases.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, so basically it just tells you that it's still happening, but okay, so it only took a few moments. So now it's showing up. I wish I would have did like a timer to see how long that takes. Actually, I can do that again and just see so you can know what to expect. And I guess it will also depend on your setup, your hosting and things like that. But I would love to see how long it actually takes for it to clone, of course. So I'm gonna do that again and use my stopwatch timer. All right, so while we wait for that, let's see what else I have on the agenda. Purchase invoice email. So I'm actually just going to wait for a second just to see how long this takes again. So one of the best things about this feature is that before you would kind of just have to, if you had one course, you would just kind of have to make that course all over again, a lot of copying and pasting. And what I found out is if you have LearnDash integrity enabled, which prevents people from copying and pasting your course content, so you'll be trying to copy and paste, and then you'll try to figure out like, hey, what's going on? What's wrong with my site? But you actually have integrity installed and it's on. It's not letting you copy and paste things as well. So with the course clone, you don't have to worry about any of that anymore. It just goes ahead and update that for you. So let's see, which one was build your site with the Divi page builder? I think this was the one I was doing. Okay, so that took about a minute for it to do, and I think we just kind of just a minute just seems so long in our heads when we're doing it. So it just took about a minute for it to actually create that course. And I guess it also just depends on maybe the size of the course as well, how long it takes for it to clone that course for you as well. So if you have any questions about course cloning, again, put those in the chat, and towards the end, we will try to get to as many of those questions as possible. And let me just check just to make sure I'm not missing anything. So I may be going a little bit fast. All right, so I did see something just really quickly. Someone asked, when did the new cloning feature take effect? I tried this earlier this year and ran into major problems. So this just happened. I believe this update came out on, is it even maybe a week or two old, maybe 2 weeks ago at the latest. So this just happened. So everything I'm showing you today just happened within the last 2 weeks on LearnDash. Just want to make that known.
Yeah, I'd like
All
to
right.
add something, Carmen.
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
Well, if you ran into some feature, into some problem with cloning, there's a chance you might have been using a third-party cloning tool. So we've
Mhm.
seen a lot of issues arising from third-party cloning tools, especially with course progression related stuff. So we are hoping that these will be sorted by the new cloning feature that we've incorporated.
Yeah, and that's a great point you brought up. Someone asked in the webinar registration, are there any third-party tools that we can eliminate with the new features? So I guess if you're using a third-party course cloning plugin, then you can eliminate that because LearnDash now has that built in. Noe, are there any other maybe plugins that people may can get rid of since we have a lot of the new features on this update?
Um, with the new update, are you referring to the cloning feature? Of course, we can eliminate the cloning plugins.
Mhm.
Okay, and
Yeah, so I think that's probably the biggest one. With the bulk editing, was
yes.
there any type of plugin that you're aware of that did
I
that?
don't think there was a plugin that helped with bulk editing, but of course, it could have been achieved with database queries, and that can have
Mhm,
side effects which are very difficult to track down
mhm.
because even a slight error in the query can result in issues that may be hidden for a while. So we've got this tested thoroughly, and we are going to be tweaking the bulk editing and other features too. So everything is going to be covered under one roof of LearnDash.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Yeah, so anything database query related, I'm not touching it. Probably like most people here. So a lot of people were probably just, doing any editing like one by one, but now that's all included. All right, so I'm moving on to the next bit here. We have drip content. So LearnDash has always had drip content when it came down to lessons, but now with this latest update, you can now drip content on topics and also quizzes. So just to kind of show you on lessons what you could do before, I believe I already have a few lessons on this site. So I'm going to go over to edit and then to show you guys the settings to show you where you can update your drip content at. All right, so we are over on the settings tab on inside of the lesson. And when you scroll down a bit, you'll see something called lesson release schedule, which is basically drip content. So I did see a comment asking what is drip content. Drip content just makes really simple definition is that immediately just means that as soon as someone buys your course or they get access to your course, they get to see everything at once. So some people they have a concern about that because you don't want people to probably buy your course, get all the information and leave really quickly and try to request a refund or not pay for the next month. So drip content allows you to kind of space out when people get certain things from your course. So if you want to maybe put lessons out every 2 weeks, make it enrollment based, so you can say, hey, this lesson comes out maybe 10 days after somebody has enrolled in my course. Or if you're doing maybe more of a cohort style where it's kind of like live, you can put a specific date to say maybe 2 weeks from now on July, whatever date this person has access to this course. So this was already a feature prior to this update, but now we can also do this, use the same drip content feature on our quizzes and our topics. So I'm going to go back to our to my dashboard here and just go over to a topic and just show you that same exact thing. So it doesn't look really different than the lessons. It has that same exact look. You just have that added functionality there. So I'm on one of my topics. I'm going to go ahead and click on edit. And it's also in the same exact place. So once you click on the settings tab, it's going to take you over. All right, and so you'll see here where it has topic release schedule, which is also drip content. This is just like, I guess, the more sophisticated name for drip content release schedule. You have those same options where you can have access immediately to it, enrollment based, or that specific date. And quizzes is going to look the exact same way, but just for the sake of things, I'll also just show you what that looks like. All right, so going over to my quizzes, I have a sample quiz here. I'm going to click on edit. All right, so same process. So you go over to settings and then you just look for that quiz release schedule. And again, immediately enrollment based or specific date. So that feature is pretty simple to use. If you have any questions about drip content or the release schedule, also put those in the chat. We will try to answer those as much as possible. So now we're down to the last or the most, I guess, the last feature of this update, which was Razorpay. So I will let we kind of talk about Razorpay a little bit if you want to just describe like what it is and I guess the importance of having Razorpay if you want to use it on your website.
Okay. So until now, we've had built-in support for PayPal, and with this new update, we've got Razorpay integration. So Razorpay is very popular in India, and those of us who are connecting from India will be very happy to have this integration available. And it's pretty straightforward to get this up and running because you just need to sign up for a Razorpay account by going to the website, and there's something called a KYC or Know Your Customer process that you need to go through. So once everything is up and running, you will need to just go to the settings tab of LearnDash LMS and choose the Razorpay option there. And you have a test mode plus a live mode. You can test out your transaction before going on to the live mode. The keys are available, by the way, the API keys are available in your Razorpay account. So you just need to make sure that all this is in order and you should be able to start selling very soon. As for payouts, this is something that Razorpay handles. So you can confirm this with the documentation. But I've used Razorpay for one of my clients a few years ago, and it's a pretty smooth process. And I remember the support as well was very good. Okay.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, so we're hoping to, of course, add more payment gateways natively in LearnDash. So if you're using things like WooCommerce, then you can potentially get rid of it. Especially, so that's another, I guess, another way. If you, depending on how you're using WooCommerce, I know WooCommerce also has a Razorpay payment gateway. So depending on how you're using it, you could possibly get rid of your WooCommerce, but it just depends on a case by case situation. So just wanted to put that out there. And if you are looking for how to set up Razorpay in LearnDash, again, just go over to your settings and then you'll see your payments tab. And then you'll see the built-in payment gateways, which are PayPal, Razorpay, Stripe, and Stripe Connect. And Stripe Connect, we also just added a few updates. I believe that was our update just before this last one, Stripe Connect, which just makes it easier to connect your Stripe account without having to kind of copy and paste those API keys. But if you're already using the existing Stripe connection, that's fine. You don't have to update that to the Stripe Connect if you don't want to, but just wanted to make it easier for people that are wanting to use Stripe. So that is the bulk of the demonstrations for the latest features and updates. Now I want to get to some questions. I'm going to leave my screen up so that way if I have any questions I need to show someone how to do something, I can just easily get back to it. So let's see, I know I have a lot of questions. So let me just try to find where they start. All right, so we may or may not have the answer to this question. So, is there a material difference between using LearnDash guest cloning versus uncanny cloning? Noe, do you have any experience using the uncanny clone plugin?
We've seen a lot of sites using third-party cloning tools, but unfortunately, it hasn't been smooth sailing. So we've seen side effects with course progression, and we've also seen side effects in other directions. So basically, we'd suggest that you uh, give our cloning tool a try, and perhaps you'll have to skip using any of the third-party plugins.
Yeah, and we definitely love our third parties that definitely contribute. But in this case, I would also say the same thing. Uh, Something that's already built in is always better than adding another plugin. It helps with your performance related things. And so also we're going to build it so that way it works with anything else that's already in LearnDash as well. So I would definitely use the LearnDash cloning. You could probably save some money too if that's a premium plugin, which I'm probably sure it is. All right, let's
Yes,
see
I
what
think
else
it's
we.
part of a suite of plugins. Uh, Uncanny has pretty good tools.
Yeah,
There's
they
no doubt
really
about that.
do.
Yes, yes,
They really do. All right, so we had one about what are some examples for cloning a course. So since I kind of showed you guys what that looks like, I guess an example would be maybe like even my course that I'm still is a work in progress. It's like we're looking at right now. So I was planning to do a course on how to build a website with the Divi page builder and the Elementor page builder. So as you can imagine, a lot of those things in those courses are probably going to be the same because I start from the very first part, which is setting up your hosting, set up a domain, installing WordPress. And so instead of me having to create a course for each time I do that, I can just go ahead and clone it and just change or remove things that don't make sense for that new course. So I hope that kind of answers your question on that. All right, so we have a good question. This feature will clone my courses, including my tests and its questions. Thanks. I believe that it will. Naweed, is that correct? Will if you clone a
yes, that's
course?
true. It will clone
Okay,
every single step. It is just
okay.
at the moment we do not clone a few things related to quizzes, particularly the quiz prerequisites that you set or the restrictions on the number of retakes. Okay, so this is something on our to-do list, and we'll be addressing it in one of the upcoming releases. But otherwise, we pretty much clone everything. Yes.
Awesome. So another question that's kind of similar. Does this clone only the course shell or all lessons and topics inside the course? And so it's going to clone everything for you.
Yes. Yes.
So whatever you don't want, you just have to just kind of go in there and remove it or just update some things. All right. So another question: does the clone course automatically publish or does it go to drafts? I believe it goes to the drafts, but I can just double check here. Wait, is that a draft? I can't really tell from here. Let's see. Oh, this is a coming soon page. Let me go back a step. So I think I've seen that. Okay, so it looks like it automatically publishes it. Is that correct, Nuit? Are you familiar with that by
Yes, that's right.
chance?
It's actually automatically publishing the course. So that's a pretty
Hmm.
good point over here, and we should save a note for ourselves
Yeah,
because not
definitely.
everyone will want to publish a clone course because the idea of cloning is to make sure it is tweaked or updated for a new set of students or perhaps somebody retaking a new version of the course. So I've made a note of that, and that's actually a
Yeah.
great question. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a great question. I'm making a note of that too. So
It's
yeah,
room
that
for
was
improvement. Thank you so much. Yeah,
yeah, thank you. We're not perfect, but we're trying.
yeah.
All right. So let's see what else do I have? All right, so will cloning this way update the course ID in the course associated settings? So I can see this question, but I'm trying to figure out like where does it apply to? Can you think of any use cases where this may be the course ID needs to be updated in different places if they clone a course?
I think if you have some custom code, then of course you'll have to ensure that the course ID is covered there. But
Mhm.
the course ID for every course, of course, is going to be unique.
Yeah,
So
and I just thought about something. So with some of the Gutenberg blocks or some of the LearnDash blocks, it does ask for certain course IDs. So if you do clone a course, I'm thinking if it is something specific that you're wanting to use, maybe you will need to just go in and double check that the course ID is going to reflect the one that you just cloned. But I don't believe
yes,
it does that out of the box, does it? Yeah, I don't think it automatically update that. So you definitely want to go in wherever you have that course ID using other places. I definitely just want to make sure you're updating just checking to see if that's been updated where you need it to be. Okay, so we have another question. Will cloning of groups be coming next when that feature is also added? I can get rid of the LearnDash content cloner plugin. Get rid of third-party plugins. Okay, I get that. So cloning of groups, that's not currently in this, I guess, release or feature update, is it, Noe? I know that bulk editing,
yes,
you can bulk
we
edit
don't have
groups.
it planned yet, but
Okay,
we can always mention it to the product management team, and
right.
we can think about adding it later.
Yep. So for now, you can stick with, I guess, Wisdom Labs group cloner, but we are hoping to possibly add that in the future. Okay, so I'm just looking through the questions, trying to find the next one. So give me just a moment, you guys. Okay, so I see here, so I would like to see cloning down to the lesson and topic. So it sounds like when you go into lessons, you would probably just want to be able just to clone that specific lesson. And I don't think that's currently in this feature set, but let me just double check. Oh yeah, you can clone a lesson by itself. Okay, that's already there. Okay, let me take a look at topics. Yeah, so it looks like you can clone everything individually. Let's check for quizzes. Probably can clone those quizzes as well. Yep. So hope that answered your question. So you don't have to just clone the course. You can also clone things individually down to your lessons, topics, and quizzes. So I did not realize that was a part of it as well, but it makes sense. Okay, so we have a question here. So when a course is cloned, get the materials of a course replicated like new lessons with unique slugs, or are the lessons, topics, and quizzes assigned to newly cloned course only? So I need to read through that one again. I'm getting a little bit confused. I see where you have the unique slugs for the lesson. So it does create a new slug that you would probably want to go in and update. Do you have any further insight you want to add to that, Dewey?
Yes, all the steps will be recreated. It's not like the steps are going to be shared across courses. It's clone. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so that was a little bit of a complex question there. Maybe just the way it was worded. All right, so we just had another question. What's your definition of cloning and why would you use it? So cloning to me, my definition is just being able to easily duplicate a course and I would use it just to make the course creation process faster, especially if I'm creating courses that kind of have a lot of the same subject matter without having to manually go in and create a course and lessons, everything one by one. So that was a great question. It makes total sense.
Yes,
All right, so
and I'd like to add to that. One
yeah,
use
sure, go
case
right
for
ahead.
cloning would be like if you want to update your material and you want to provide a new course instead of updating the same course and you want new signups. So it's a good idea to clone the course rather than update the same course and probably create confusion for existing students who might have already completed the course.
Right. Makes sense. So we have another question. This one is more along the lines for the drip content. Can you make a lesson available a certain number of days after the previous lesson is completed? I don't think so, just because I think it'll automatically give a person access. So if you say 10 days, maybe from the last thing they've done, it doesn't matter if it's been completed or not, but no, is there anything that you can do for like a workaround to make sure they completed the last lesson before moving on to the next one?
Can you make a lesson available? I don't think we have a feature for this at the moment. So this can be covered under custom coding, which means that um, a certain amount of time has to be spent on a particular lesson before you can move on.
And I also want to put out there, even though I know that we did bring up custom coding, if you're in our Facebook group, we have a lot of great people, a lot of great developers in there. So if you are looking for some of a custom solution to add to your LearnDash site, then someone in the Facebook group, I'm sure, can definitely help. You have a lot of great minds, a lot of great developers in there that do things like that. So just wanted to put that out there. All right, so I'm just going through the comments here. So we only have a few moments left, so I'll just try to find some of the really good questions here that a lot of people may be asking. All right, so Jennifer just brought up the point cloning certificates would also be a nice feature. That would be nice. I don't think that's already in here, but I'll just double check to see. I don't actually have a certificate on this site yet. Uh, so that I can definitely look into that at some other point. So that makes sense. Right. So we have one that's kind of not really related to this so much, but I think it's a great question that a lot of people may be asking. So what page builders is LearnDash compatible with? And are there any plans for additional styling options? Noe, do you want to take this one?
Okay, the question is about page builders.
Hmm.
Well, many of our users use Elementor and achieve great results. So we definitely recommend Elementor. And we also have a lot of users using Divi. Okay, so Divi and Elementor happen to be the most popular right now. And we've got uh, pretty decent integration with them. Other than that, I think any good, well-coded page builder should work with LearnDash. And if you come across any conflict, please let us know right away, and we'll make sure that if there's anything that needs to be updated in terms of compatibility, we'll ensure it's covered in a new release. And as
Awesome.
far as the second part of the question is concerned, are there any plans for additional styling options? Hmm, I don't think there are because as far as styling is concerned, we leave that to the theme, the active theme, and we basically try to focus a great deal on the functionality.
Right. Yeah. So when it comes down to styling, I think that's going to really just depend on if you have a page builder or a certain theme. Also put out there that Cadence is another great theme that works great with LearnDash.
Okay.
They have like a lot of
Yeah.
templates, and it's also one of our sister, or I guess one of our family of brands, Cadence as well. And they have like a lot of great course templates that you can use. And they use the Gutenberg's, I guess, page builder blocks, but Cadence also has its own blocks as well. So if you want to add some more more complex features than what I guess Gutenberg offers out of the box. Cadence also has that. And Cadence is also cool because it works with Elementor as well. So if you have like a template in Cadence, you can still use Elementor page builder and use LearnDash with it. So there's a lot of options out there that's with Cadence. See another interesting question about kind of a page builder. So how does a Divi theme work with LearnDash? Is Buddy Boss theme better? So I will say, just from what I know about the Divi theme, I used to be like a really great, I used to love Divi a lot. For me, I feel like Divi is great for like designing your pages, like maybe your sales page, and some of maybe the more, let's see, maybe the auxiliary pages to your website, maybe your home page and things like that. When it comes down to LearnDash, it seems like a lot of the pages are kind of already made with LearnDash. So for example, when someone's in your course in focus mode, that's kind of already just using just LearnDash and none of the Divi stuff is involved in that. But maybe if you want to, custom design your course page that shows the price of your course and what your course is about, then that's when I think Divi would definitely come into play. Noe, is there anything you want to add there, or do you think that's kind of correct on how I'm thinking of that with Divi and LearnDash?
Yes, I think I pretty much agree with you about DB.
Hmm.
And as far as Buddy Boss is concerned, it's more into social networking, so you could perhaps evaluate the features that Buddy Boss offers and take a call. So
Yeah.
ultimately, it depends on the requirements you're trying to achieve. Both are pretty good solutions, and we've seen many customers use both solutions to great effect.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I've used the Buddy Boss theme as well. If you are, I guess, if you're more focused on community and kind of like having that social networking feel to your website, Buddy Boss is definitely a great option for that. So I definitely like both of those, but it just depends on what you're trying to achieve with your course. All right, so it looks like we have time for a few more questions. I'm just trying to just scan and see what else I can find. All right, so I'm not really seeing anything else. So anyone that is just joining, or if you joined late, so this is recorded. It's going to be on YouTube, and we're also going to send out a replay tomorrow, just so everyone that can watch it that maybe could not attend today, or maybe you had to maybe hop off, or you came in late. So this will be out to you via email for the replay, and also if you come to our YouTube channel, you'll always be able to watch this replay. So just a quick, I guess, rundown of what we covered today. So we covered the bulk editing, which is a new feature in LearnDash, which allows you to, if you have several courses and you want to change if the course is an open, free course, just different things you want to change within the course without having to individually go into each course and change things. Bulk editing now covers that. We covered course cloning, which allows you to kind of duplicate or copy your course. It covers it. You can also clone individual lessons, topics, and also quizzes. We covered drip content. So we already had drip content for lessons prior to this new feature release, but now you can also drip your content on topics and quizzes. And then we also had the purchase invoice emails. I don't think I went over that. So let me actually run over to that really quickly. I skipped right on over that. So I'm going to go back over to settings, and the purchase invoice email is just pretty much an email invoice or receipt for your learners or your students, so that way they can keep copies that they purchased your course or whatever the case may be. You can also add additional information that you may want them to know inside of that email. So once you go over to your settings and you go over to emails, you'll now see a new email template that has purchase invoice that you can turn on and off. And then you can click on manage, and you can put whatever you want inside of that email. So, all right, so it's going to automatically go to the customer that purchased your course or signs up for your course. You can make that subject line whatever you want to be. So I like to use some emojis and say, "Hey, you're in," or you're in this course. You can now log in, and then you also have some placeholders that you can use if you want to say hello and then use that person's name in that email and just display different things here. That will all be there. and then you can add your logo, location, or we'll see, sorry, logo location if you want to show up on the left side or the right side. So that is a new feature as well. Louise, is there anything else you want to add about the purchase invoice emails?
No, there isn't anything else.
Okay. Right, yeah, that one's pretty straightforward,
Yeah.
and I just realized I skipped
Yeah.
right on over that one. And then we also briefly discovered Razorpay, which is a very popular payment gateway for our people over in India. Right, so that is pretty much it. If there was any question that we might didn't get a chance to get to or we didn't see, feel free to reach out to our support team. They're more than happy to help. I also got a lot of your questions on our registration form, so I will also send it over to support so someone will follow up with you directly if there was a question you had about the product and get someone to follow up with you. Again, thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you again next time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Goodbye.